Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a video on the top selling USMNT soccer cards as we head into the World Cup. So I wanted to talk about the roster. I'll throw it up on screen right now. There are 26 people on it. However, I didn't want to go through the way most people go through the roster, which is where you talk about the snubs on the outside and then you talk about some of the good guys. I just want to go through the top 10 players in terms of how their cards are selling. So what I did to get these prices was I took the top 5 cards sold for each player on eBay in the last 3 months, I averaged them out to a price, and then I ranked them accordingly. So this is heavily favored towards more high-end cards, or 1-of-1s, or 1-of-5s, 1-of-10s, stuff like that, but I think it gives a good overall perspective in terms of where money's being spent in terms of the USMNT market. Starting off at number 10, we have Jesus Ferreira. His 5th most expensive card was a $140 Topps Chrome MLS card that was signed by him and authenticated by BGS. He then has a gold Topps MLS card at $150, a red Topps Chrome at $255, and then for number 2 and number 1, he has the same card, his Topps Now from his true rookie year. Pretty rare. It's between pop 100 and 200, I think closer to 200 if I am correct. Overall, it was $1,145 if you wanted to buy his top 5 cards from the last 3 months on eBay. Personally, I don't think that they're terrible. However, I will say with him, you can kind of tell just from these pictures, it's really hard to tell what his rookie is. You could say Topps Now, but that's not technically a true rookie because it's not, a pack release. And then beyond that, it's just hard if you want to go for 2020. It's so long after his true release that it's just a little weird. But Jesus Ferreira has upside in the sense that he could be our starting striker, and he is number 10 on this list. Next up is Timothy Weah at number 9. His 5th most expensive card is more than Jesus Ferreira's most expensive card. That is a red Future Stars priced at $350. He also has a gold treble at $380. He has a 1-of-1 Topps Museum patch for almost $500. Then he has a green treble numbered out of 10 for $510 and a black Velocity numbered out of 25 at price $550. In total, that is $2,268 for Tim Weah. And personally, I also think Tim Weah is a little underpriced in the sense that, in my mind, he is a lock starter on the wing for us. And to be at number 9, given that, I feel like is pretty crazy. Next up, we have Josh Sargent. You'll note over time throughout this list that the 2018 guys tend to get a lot of love. They're all in the same class. They have the same sort of rookie cards. They have longer term collectors. So they have typically better prices. Now, Sargent is helped by this. We'll go through it now. At number 5, he has an immaculate PSA 10 auto. At number 4, there's a red non-rookie auto. At number 3, there's another immaculate rookie auto. And then at number 2 and number 1, we have both 1-of-1s. The number 2 is the Net Marvels at price $600, and the number 1 is a Lightning Strike Obsidian auto at price close to $800. In total, $2,300 for Josh Sargent's 5 best cards. In my opinion, I think this is a fair spot to have him. I don't think that, I do think he should be a little higher. We'll talk about that in a second, but I don't think he should be much higher. I think this is fair. At number 7, this is why I think Josh Sargent should be higher. We have Ricardo Pepi, who is not even on the roster, but he was one of the hyped guys throughout this World Cup qualifying cycle. Now, I love Ricardo Pepi. I think he has upside. However, that upside is unrealized and much is to be still determined, right? But at number 5, we have his Bowman numbered out of 150 selling for $375 in a gem grade. Then we have his gold and a PSA 9 selling for the same price. And then there are 3 straight Obsidian Color Blast PSA 10 or SGC 10 sales at different times for different prices. I think that's a little wild to be paying that for Ricardo Pepi, but that's just me. Nonetheless, that is a total of $2,335, just edging out Sargent and Weah to get number 7th on the list. Next at number 6, we have Yunus Musa. His 5th most expensive card is a $400 orange fluorescent that sold most recently. Then we have the Peacock Mosaic PSA 10. There's also a Chronicles Optic Pink Wave numbered out of, I think that is 19. And then you have the green numbered out of 5. And finally, there is a Genesis Mosaic PSA 10. All these pretty close in terms of price, coming in for a total of $2,340. And I think this is a pretty fair spot to have Yunus Musa. I will say he does have a lot of upside compared to most people in this list. So maybe, you can take that into account. When you have that upside, you're probably not as much of a player right now. But in my opinion, Musa is a great player. So I think that this kind of made me think Musa isn't as overpriced as I thought he was. However, I still think in certain situations it is true, and you really have to be particular with the types of cards you buy for any of these guys, because they all have very different dynamics. Number 5, we have Tyler Adams, the captain. In my opinion, his 5th most expensive card was a green refractor PSA 10. His fourth was an out of 25 immaculate PSA 10. Personally, I take that immaculate every single day of the week over the Topps Chrome. Then at number 3 is a red auto non-rookie. Then there is a 2019 Topps Chrome gold refractor PSA 9. And then finally, the highest sale was a 1/1 at price 920. Now keep in mind, like I mentioned before, if you have a 1/1 sale in the last 3 months, that does help a little bit. About half these guys have a 1/1 in their list, so if they don't have a 1/1, just understand they might be a little lower. But all of these are kind of random in terms of what cards were sold recently, so you're not going to get a perfect picture no matter how you paint it, really. For Tyler Adams, though, $2,825 for all 5 of those. Then we have Brendan Aronson at number 4. His 5th most expensive card is $700. That is the Bowman Yellow PSA 9, numbered out of 75. Next up is a Brendan Aronson Topps Stadium Club Chrome Auto. I believe that was a numbered out of 10 variant. It's definitely a very low numbered variant. Then you have the Bowman Gold PSA 9 at $800. Then you have 2 1/1s that are going to be at number 2 and number 1. So at number 2, we have the U23 Stars from Topps Merlin. And then we have the 1/1 National Treasure Tag from the National Treasures Road to Qatar. That was $1,500, a pretty hefty penny, and in total, the 5 of these combined are $4,630. Then next we have Gio Reyna. His 5th most expensive card is an $800 PSA 10 refractor. His 4th most expensive card is a $1,000 raw green Topps Chrome. His 3rd most expensive was a $1,000 BGS 9 Topps Museum RPA. His 2nd most expensive was an immaculate rookie numbered out of 25 in a PSA 10 grade for $1,250. And then his most expensive card was a numbered out of 50 gold Topps Museum in a PSA 9 for $1,900. Everyone knows I don't keep it a secret because that would be weird, but Gio Reyna is one of my favorite players, so seeing him 3rd, I feel like it's a little undervalued, but people can argue that he's overvalued for what he's achieved, and I'd argue that for most everyone on the USMNT list, so that comes out to a total of $5,940, just $1,000 over Brendan Aronson, which is, in my opinion, why I think he's underrated. I think he's much better than Brendan Aronson, but that's just me. Next, we have Weston McKennie. He had some pretty nice cards selling. I mean, some really nice cards, as we'll come to see. The number 5 card was a red rookie auto. The number 4 card was the same card. I just copied and pasted the pictures. It wasn't the exact same card, so don't worry. Then his 3rd most expensive card was a blue press proof. I believe that was numbered out of 5. I have never seen that. I've only seen the numbered out of 99 blues of that same kind. So that was the first time I ever saw that, to be honest. Then there was the Black Velocity numbered out of 25 in a PSA 10. That went for $2,000. And then this one, I don't know. It was a green treble Weston McKennie PSA 10. It said on eBay, it sold for $8,000. Now, I don't believe that. I know treble's hard to grade. I know treble's, the next PMG type of thing. I know that's what gets said, right? But I don't believe that that's an $8,000 card. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. It could be. But given other Weston McKennie sales, I don't want to put it up there as an $8,000 card when it could just be, a bad comp on eBay. It was a buy it now. If it was an auction, I would have kept it. I don't care. I mean, if it's an auction and it doesn't look bad, I trust that price. When it's just a buy it now, I don't know. So I took half that price and conservatively threw it up there. It could even be lower, theoretically. It could be higher. But that's what I put, and I felt like it was necessary, because if a card like that sells and I'm making a list like this, it needs to be on there, but I want to take it not at face value. Overall, that is an $8,800 total for the price tag, which you can see why I was a little hesitant on the $8K tag for McKennie. I mean, we don't even have any other player on this list that sold for over $6,000 for their top 5 cards, and to think that there's one Weston McKennie selling for $8,000, I could see the argument for it, but the reason I don't believe it is because McKennie just has a lot of options for rookie cards. Like, there's some great options up on screen here for way cheaper. I don't know if it's necessarily true. Take it that way you may. Then at number 1, we have no one else but the LeBron James of soccer, Christian Pulisic, one of the world's hot prospects that's taken over the scene everywhere. Anyways, his 5th most expensive card was a PSA 10 Gold Topps Chrome, coming in at $2,500. He then had a numbered out of 25 Select Rookie Auto in a BGS 9.5. Then there was the same Topps Chrome again, selling for $3,000. Then the second most expensive was his Kaboom PSA 10 from 2018. And finally, he had a 1/1 sell from the Impeccable Collection that came in at $3,900, which made for a total of $15.2K in terms of his top 5 sales. And what you can tell here is that Christian Pulisic is head and shoulders above most of the USMNT market, in the sense that his 5th most expensive card is selling for what most people's, most expensive card could hope to go for. So, kind of shows you the hierarchy of the players here on the USMNT and what people are paying right now. Would love to hear your thoughts in terms of how you would rank this list or who you would change in particular. Hopefully you guys enjoyed though. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this as soon as I go live, make sure to subscribe. But with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day and peace.